Hey, what's up, fellas? How you doing? Man, Antonelli here.
Hey, what's going on, guys? How we doing? Man, Antonelli here. Hope you're doing well. So today, I wanted to ask you guys a question. Who would you take for 1 year? Cody Bellinger or Christian Yelich? Okay, so 1 year, let's just say this next year coming up. Who would you rather have on your team for that 1 year to give yourself the best chance to win a World Series? So both of these players are constantly compared to each other. You have two young superstars. Bellinger is 24, Yelich is 28. So Yelich is a little bit older, but still relatively young superstars. You know, two big, strong, left-handed hitters that hit in the middle of the order that are both extremely athletic. You have the 2018 NL MVP, the 2019 NL MVP. So before we get into the details, I'm going to let you guys know in a second. We're going to talk about the pluses and the minuses, where I think one player is better than the other and vice versa. So before I do that, though, put it in the comment section below. Who do you want? Do you want Bellinger or do you want Yelich? Okay, so let's start with Bellinger first. I'm going to talk about what I really like about him, what he may do a little bit better than Yelich. So first thing, if you just look at WAR, he had over a 9 WAR, which was tied with Bregman for the best in the big leagues. That's according to Baseball Reference. And if you look at Fangraphs, so both sites do a little bit differently when it comes to WAR. But if you look at Fangraphs WAR, he was just under 8, and he was tied with Yelich, and he was behind Trout and Bregman. Now, Bellinger has been a solid player. He's very young, obviously, but he's been a super solid player his first couple of years, and then he's kind of become a superstar this past year. So everything about his game offensively has gotten better. He's cut his strikeouts down. He's walked more often. He's not chasing balls as much, so he's getting better pitches in the zone, and when they are in the zone, he's hammering them. He's making solid contact more than ever before. He's got a career best in his line drive percentage. And if you just look at his numbers, right, 47 homers, 305 batting average, on base over 400. He slugged over 600. So he walked more. He struck out less. Now Yelich hits the ball slightly harder, but it's not a huge difference. Now here's the other thing. Yeah, he can rake, but he won a Gold Glove last year. He's an elite defender at multiple positions. He played right field, he played some center field, he even played first base. So any defensive metric that you look at defensive runs saved, he was top 3 in the league. If you look at UZR, he's 4th in the league. And this is the part of the game where he's better than Yelich by a decent amount. He's got better range, he's a better overall defender, he's got a better arm, he's got an absolute cannon. And so even though Yelich is probably a little better offensive player, defensively is where Bellinger really, really shines. So now let's go over to Yelich, okay? And when you look at Yelich, we just talked about defensively for Bellinger. Yelich is more of just kind of an average defender, so he's not a great defender. He's not a bad defender, but he's not up to Bellinger's level or really anywhere close to Bellinger's level when it comes to defense. But when you look at offense, this is where, he's one of the absolute best. So how crazy is this stat right here? There's only been 3 other players other than Yelich that over a 2-year span had over 80 home runs, over 200 runs driven in, and over 50 stolen bases. And those 3 players, not bad players, Barry Bonds, Willie Mays, and A-Rod. Now, Yelich won the MVP in 2018. In 2019, his numbers were even better. Now, he did get banged up at the end of the year, and he couldn't finish out the season, but his numbers were even better. And Yelich lost to Bellinger this year in the MVP race, but his stats were better, right? 44 homers, almost 100 RBIs, 100 runs scored, and he only he missed a bunch of games. He only played 130 games. He didn't even get 600 plate appearances because of the injury that he had late in the year. He led the league in batting average, on base percentage, slugging percentage. Bottom line, he barrels balls up, he hits them hard, right? So he squares them up often, and he hits them harder than almost anyone else in the league. And another thing that's kind of underrated is, we talked about the stolen bases, but he's a great base runner. So any metric that you look at, there's a lot of kind of crazy base running metrics out there, but any one that you look at, he ranks towards the top when it comes to base running. So I think when you look at both players, right, they're so close to each other. They do so many things well. They're very similar players in a lot of ways. And I don't think either team would trade for the other one. So I don't think the Dodgers, well, and of course, again, they're younger, so we're not talking about a trade for the long term, but it was just one season. I don't think the Dodgers would be like, yeah, give us Yelich, we'd rather have Yelich. And I don't think the Brewers would be like, yeah, give us Bellinger, we'd rather have Bellinger. I think both teams would be like, you know what, we're happy with our guy, I'm not going to trade him for your guy, and let's see what happens. And so I've gone back and forth, and it's a really tough decision. I think in the end, I'm going to pick Yelich. The reason I'm going to pick Yelich, even though Bellinger is a better defender, is because Yelich has done this a little bit longer. So Yelich has been one of the best, if not the best, offensive players in the league for multiple years now in a row. Bellinger has exploded this past year, but the years before that he was good, but he wasn't up to this level. Now, I don't know, maybe that means that this coming year, Bellinger's going to take even another step, and he's going to become, like, otherworldly, and that could very possibly happen. But if I have to take one or the other, I'll take Yelich right now because he's proven that he's done it multiple years, and I have no doubt if we get back out to play baseball this year, like, in my mind, Yelich is going to rake again. Bellinger probably is too, but if I had to pick one, if I was like, if one of these guys was going to not have the same year this year that they had last year, who would it be? I think I'd probably go with Bellinger just because he hasn't done it as such a consistent basis as Yelich has. But again, please don't think that I'm saying that Bellinger isn't good or that Bellinger is going to struggle. I don't think he's going to. Again, I just have to make a pick, okay? So we're going to go with Yelich. All right, so in the comment section below, hopefully you already put it before you listen to me babble on there about both players. But I love both players. They're two of my favorite players in the game. Let me know, again, who you think in the comment section below you would take for 1 year. 1 year and 1 year only to help you win a World Series. Who are you going to take? Comment section below. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel. Share the video with all your friends. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. Thank you to our patrons on Patreon who help support the channel. And don't forget to go over and check our Twitch channel out. Twitch.tv/Antonelli Baseball. I'm streaming a bunch of Major League Baseball games over there. MLB The Show 20. So go and check it out if you want to watch some baseball. And that's what we have. Thanks so much for watching. We'll talk to you later.